Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion plays a Binding of Isaac Afterbirth. Plus, we won with the Keeper at what felt like 17 a.m. last night. I'm trying to think, what would 17 a.m. be? Well, I suppose it would be 11 hours after 6 a.m., which is 5 p.m., which is not actually that far away from where it was. You gotta be... I've talked about the clock a lot. We're gonna talk about the clock tonight. We got a cane run here for 11 OK 6HQ. Now go, man, go. We're gonna talk about DMCA'd by the Big Bopper. He's been dead since like 1960. Come on, man. That's crazy. I knew I was gonna walk into it. Yeah, we won that Keeper run, which was amazing. It felt great. Felt incredible. Got a cane run today. Just keep the energy moving. I thought you were going to talk about the clock. Okay, I mean, I'm going to say the same thing that I would say, you know, I've said before. I don't understand why the clock starts at 12. Why doesn't it just start at 0? Why can't you have a 0 o'clock, you know? It's not like when people are born, they're, you know, 12 baby, you know? And then the oldest they could be as a kid was like 11:59 kid. And then they become 12 adult, you know? Like, that's not how numbers work. We have numbers that go from low to high, and you arrange them in an order to provide meaning. And then from that point onwards, you know, like, why mess it up? Why, oh, now 12's at the top, unless there's a PM next to it, in which, like, it's just, I know we've been down this road before, and I apologize. I still don't get it. It was like 12 was the favorite number of the person who invented the clock. That's the only explanation that I could come up with. Now, we will not be taking Ludo. Ludo is an item that I actually previously have liked quite a lot. I don't think it's bad. Oh my god, you're gonna make me lose my mind up in here and so on and so forth. I don't think it's a bad item. I do think there are substantially non-zero... We're gonna take this even though we got no spacebar item. It's called future-proofing, sweetheart. There is a non-zero number of synergies that kind of make it horrible. They make it untenable, and as a result, I'm choosing to abstain. I'm writing it out of the narrative, at least for now. There's also a couple of synergies that really make it pop. So somehow, if we get like a Joker card and that gives us access to Brimstone, then we're gonna hit Pog City, man. This is a horrible room, dude. It's like, this is the worst. How many times we gotta go down this exact road right here? So he's half dead, thankfully. Starting to wish I hadn't put so much pressure on myself to go to the secret room. But also very glad we found that red heart mere moments ago. I knew it. As soon as it happened, I was like, we've made a terrible mistake. We got him kind of like lodged in the corner there, and it was bad. Hold on, give me a second. I'm gonna get a glass of water. Alright, I'm back, and to be honest, I'm not really that beaten up over it. It happens. You know, sometimes you just happen, though. I mean, I think we could have done a little better on the Monstro fight, but sometimes you roll that random number generator, and it comes up like snake eyes, you know? Sometimes you bet on red, you bet on black at the casino, it comes up with 00 2 times in a row and you're wiped out. This is probably, you know, good advice to maybe stop betting your life savings on roulette at the casino. I don't... I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. Oh, be happy with your 5% gains annually, Grandpa. I'm going to the casino where I can double my money in a single swing. This is not an allegory for anything going on in the financial markets of the world right now. Anyway, it's all satire. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial professional. Anyway. How am I doing? I'm actually doing pretty well. Like, so this, it is hilarious to me that we lost that Kane run just now after winning a keeper run. Just goes to show you, you know, you can never take anything for granted. But I had, you know, the baby had a, let's not call it a rough night. She fell asleep around, like, I don't know, 11. I didn't get to sleep until, like, 12, 12:30. And then she woke up at, like, 6 exactly. Started crying, started fussing. I was like, alright, I'll get up, I'll feed her, obviously. Fed her, changed her diaper. And then I was like, you know what? Because previously I've always been like, I'm going to stay awake here. I'm like, you know what? I deserve it. I went back to bed. At 6 a.m. I tweeted coffee cup emoji and sun emoji. Then like 45 minutes later I tweeted, you know what? Moon emoji, bed emoji. I've decided, you know, you don't get much time to sleep in when you got a baby. But you can take some time for yourself. And I thought that was a good time to do so. Yesterday we were a little sleepless. We were a little in Seattle. Feel like might have destroyed me a little bit to damage upgrades. What a concept. I could use a little fuel myself. Yesterday it would have undermined me. But today I had the insulation, you know, from that sleep. I had the foundation of a good day, or I have the foundation of a good day. So you know, the barrier to entry to put a smile on my face a little lower today, which is kind of nice. But yeah, you know, I had another couple of hours of sleep. Still feeling like you never really have like a sleep that leaves you feeling like a superstar. You know those like those movie sleeps where you know the guy wakes up and it plays like it's a beautiful morning. I've got the something, who donkey donkey. You know that one. You don't really get those, at least not with the, you know, a baby that's still only 3 months old. But I at least had one today where I woke up and it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't dun 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 something shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud in, but it also wasn't like all around me are familiar faces. You know, it was kind of like just waking up in the morning. Gotta thank God. I don't know, but today seems fairly normal, honestly. Okay, speed up is nice. 48-hour energy. There's a theory that it could be nice. I suppose there are ways it could be nice. Let me see what's going on in here. A quarter. Nope. Central Park in Newark. Okay, so I should not have used my orbital to try to kill you. That much is clear. However, at least the game's giving me a chance. This is like a very self-contained sort of like anime arc right here, right? Like you killed me, now I've returned but stronger. It's like when you fight that guy, what's his name at the start of Mega Man X, and there's no way to beat him unless maybe the speedrun has some kind of cheesy way to beat him. And then, you know, Zero comes and slices his mech's arm off, so you're like, you know, were it not for Zero, I would have died. And then later in Mega Man X, you have to fight him again after you've killed all the robot masters and made it through, like, that awful part of the first Dr. Wily stage where you gotta take those elevators, like, up into outer space. Then when you fight him again, you're like, wow, dude, you're a little weakling. I've got launch octopuses homing missiles now, and your suit is very weak to Spark Mandrill's EMP blast. It's like he never stood a chance. I forget that the little guy from Mega Man X, he's got a weird name. His name is Mega Man. No, not that little guy. I mean like the guy who's in the mech suit and he moves really fast. His name is like Dirt or something like that. I know. Look, it's not actually Dirt. But it's something along those lines. Hold on. First boss, Mega Man X. No, not Boomer Kawanger. Mavericks is Sigma. Yeah, you have a boss to fight before Sigma. What the heck, man? Boss's Guide. Okay, now I don't even know what kind of website I'm on now. It's a freaking .net. What world? Vile! That's it. Vile. I told you, it's kind of like dirt. It's a 4-letter word that has an I in the second position. Oh, man. I remember when I was a kid, I bought Mega Man X from, pretty sure I got it from the Walmart. Like, a Walmart opened in our town. Or maybe a Zellers, I can't remember. But a Walmart opened in our town inside of the Frontenac Mall. In, like, maybe 1995 or 1996. I bought Mega Man X, and it took me, like, I was a little kid. It took me years to beat all the Robot Masters. Got very good at beating Chill Penguin and Storm Eagle, but, from there it was kind of like a crapshoot, right? But eventually I did it, and when you beat all the Robot Masters, and then the Sigma music kicks in, okay, it's just become the Castlevania theme song, but like, you're used to the Mega Man X music. We're doing a bang-up job of dodging, by the way. When you're used to the Mega Man X music, like, that you normally get for the Robot Masters, and then they start hitting you with that industrial, like, Trent Reznor, like, sometimes I really wanna be alone. It's like, I wasn't ready for that kind of energy as a second grader. I didn't beat that many games as a kid either. I know you're gonna laugh because you're gonna be like, that we can tell because you're not actually like good at games. The thing is, like, I was the best gamer, amongst the best gamer, let's say, out of all of my school cohort. The thing is, you're mostly witnessing a cautionary tale. It's not just the tale of getting older, it's the tale of being a variety gamer. Yeah, I'm not that good at, like, League of Legends. Mostly because I still have not yet played it. But, you're comparing me with people like, T1 and Yasuo and BoxBox who have, they play, that's all they play. Let's see how BoxBox does when it's time. We're doing an improv bit. We're doing mouth libs. And Mouth hits you with the, why does your mustache look so funny? And in your head, you didn't have a mustache, right? Let's see how he reacts in that situation. That's the crucible that I've been living in this whole time. Alright, we didn't deserve to get the upgrade there, or the deal with the devil there. I think that's fair to say. Would not find myself upset by it. Don't deserve it. Okay, hold on. I think we do. Check this out. Okay, I got some new hotness here. You're Jennifer Aniston. Hold on, I'll handle it. Wait, are Kim and Kanye really getting a divorce? I don't really care. Like, I don't follow it, but it's one of those things. Is that tabloid slander, or is that like a real thing? Because I just want them to be happy because they're both like idols of mine. Both titans of industry and also, artists extraordinaire. Like Michael Caine said in the Cider House Rules, Good night, you titans of industry. You artistes extraordinaire. You ever read the Cider House Rules? If you've never seen it or read the book, the Cider House Rules is it's a movie based on a book by John Irving of the same name. John Irvine, I think. John Irving wrote... No, Washington Irving wrote Ichabod Crane. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it just goes to show you, like, when you're a kid... And I was, like, probably 14 when I read it. But when you're a kid, even the most kind of, like, mundane, like, adult stories feel titillating and exciting to read, right? It's like, it's about, Michael Caine is like the headmaster of an orphanage, but check this out, he does like the most 1800s drug of all, ether. And also I think that they do like, clandestine sort of, pregnancy terminations at the orphanage. So, in the whole scheme of it's not that it's not like a controversial sort of take, obviously. But it's one of those movies that, like, if you were to talk to somebody and they're going to be like, oh, are you going to go see the Cider House Rules? There's like a 98% chance of the person you're talking to is at minimum over the age of 55. If not even older than that. But reading that book, you know, as like a 14-year-old or something, I was like, whoa, I'm getting away with something. And you know what, actually, you know, I guess depending on the kind of, like, family situation that you have, I bet that was a banned book in some ways, but... You know, with the acceleration of culture that we live in as a result of the internet and, you know, mass communications and stuff like that, really feel like even stuff on the banned book list is, like, kind of quaint these days, you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, someone would write a book that has, like, a new idea in it, and people would be like, what? Throw it on the fire. Nowadays, people will come out with, like, an incredibly radical take, and then within, like, 6 hours, they're like, yeah, whatever, centrist. The Overton window is already pushed past this thing that you thought was so crazy at 9 a.m. Now it's lunch, and, you know, anybody that's got that take, we call them a boomer. Alright, we don't really care for that, but we do really care for this. We have not seen our item room. Disappointing, because our item room, you know, in many ways is one of the most important rooms available. But yeah, what I was saying earlier is I didn't beat many single-player games as a kid. Most of the time I would get to like a certain point in the game where I didn't know what to do. And, you know, especially in the pre-internet days, you would just... If you couldn't divine for yourself what to do, or you didn't have a friend that had beaten the game... And even then, like, your friend was like a legend, right? Because you would have to, like, by memory. You'd be like, I got to this part of the game, and, like, I'm in Cosmo Canyon, and I don't know what to do next. And then, you know, I can't seem to advance the quest at all. And then your friend would be like, did you go up into the observatory and do that part with, like, the telescope where he explains the nature of the universe? And you're like, oh, thank you, I didn't. But if he didn't remember that, or they didn't remember that, then you're toasted, you know? You're just stuck. And then I go back to playing, like, Madden 1999. But I did beat a couple of Super Nintendo games. One of them was Mega Man X, and I was so, like, over the moon, for sure. But another one was, over the moon means very happy, by the way. The other one I remember beating, I remember beating Super Mario World. Even my mom tells me, like, oh, you were so excited to beat Super Mario World. Like, it was a very cute moment. So that's like a family history. But I also remember being extremely hype to beat the game Chester Cheetah's Wild Wild Quest, which was a platform video game starring the Cheetos mascot. And the game, I'm pretty sure it was pure garbage. This could be good, actually. But in my head, like, because I played it when I was too young to really separate garbage from greatness, like, I remember the emotions I felt when playing the game, and I'm like, actually, it's probably one of the most underrated games of all time. It's one of those things I recognize as being bad, but because of the era, you know, for me personally, when I watched it, it actually, like, almost ends up feeling like... It's like Creed's album, Human Clay. It's like, I know Human Clay is a trash album. If you analyze it by, like, any kind of... not even objective, because I don't know if that's even possible when it comes to art. I mean, I think there is some objectively bad art, maybe, but we don't need to get into that, because it's a more intellectual discussion than I'm capable of really wading into, I think. But, you know, it's like a bad song. Like, Higher by Creed it might have a hook, but really the reason I like it is because of the fact that I liked it when I was, like, 13, right? Like, or 11 or whatever. Like, it has one of the most... You know when you, like, read a greeting card, and it says something ridiculous, but you gotta go, like, aw, anyway? You'll get, like, a greeting card, and it'll be like, I want there to be no wars. And then you gotta go, oh, that's sweet. Well, what do you mean it's sweet? Nobody's gonna give you, like, a birthday card that says, like, more wars, right? Like... You know, what kind of psycho would you have to be to even make that greeting card to begin with? But then, like, you know, you gotta go, aw, because it's like the thing you do when there's a nice sentiment. Like, for my birthday, I want peace on Earth. Oh, but if that's not possible, I guess I'll just take an Hermes Birkin handbag. Okay. Another? Anyway, it's like that. Like, the middle of the second verse of Creed's Higher, and I apologize if you've heard me go down this exact path before, but it's the most, like, artificially sentimental, like, you say it best when you say nothing at all sort of weirdness. Although I would like the world to change, he'd like the world to change. It helps me to appreciate those nights and those dreams. What doesn't even make, really, it hasn't even made a point yet. Like, I don't know what nights and what dreams, but anyway, regardless, that's being a little bit too cinema sins in my criticism. Well, my friend, I sacrifice all the nights, those aforementioned ambiguous nights, if I could make the earth and my dreams the same. Wow, that's so nice of you. You would sacrifice those nights to have the world be your own version of utopia. The only difference is to let love replace all the hate. Like, it's just like what a 9-year-old kid, if they wrote it like in crayon on a piece of paper at school, people would be like, you know, forward, 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 forward. You gotta see this. The mind of a child is an amazing thing. Forward, 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 you know, like. So let's go there. Let's make our mistake. No, let's make our escape. Come on, let's go there. Then in the background, there's like the talk box. Let's go there. Wish I could just stay. It's so like, but in my head, I'm like the Jay-Z gif where he's like reluctantly nodding. I'm like, yeah, that's a nice sentiment. Man, I'd give up all those nights if I could just create world peace. Yeah, so would everybody. Probably. Unless you're like 8 years old and you're like, no, I'm not going to give up ice cream to, you know, stop the conflict in the Middle East. You know, it's like a juvenile mindset. I don't even know how I got on this track, but now I'm like, wait a minute, did I learn how to sing? Am I crazy? Did that sound better than usual? By my standards. If singing Creed makes you sound better than usual, it's definitely time to retire your aspirations of becoming a singer, though. Court is in session. The verdict is in. No appeals on the docket today. Just a my own sin. Sorry. Again, that song, I don't even think it's any good at all, but I love it. I can't explain it. I like a lot of junk. Who doesn't? But I definitely also do. And I said, hold. Like, why does that part go so hard that even now, as like a 32-year-old dad who's like, you know, oh yes, Une Histoire du Melody Nelson just finished. What could I put on that could match this kind of like, you know, concept album? Oh, I know, My Own Prison by Creed. So I hold my head up high, bodies aching multiply. Okay, sorry, I got a little carried away. Like, there's dead air, which is silence, and then there's air you kill, which is singing. And I think we've murdered more air than I should have there. In some ways, you can really say, man, I've created my own prison. And that's the dead air. Okay. Creed. How about that? You guys have a track record of buying your dad, like, extremely bad CDs as Christmas gifts, year after year? I've stopped recently because my family and I have stopped buying one another gifts. Not because we're on bad terms. We're on great terms. But I think really the way we perceive it now is that, you know, especially because we live apart, like obviously I would live apart, but like far away. The gift is just, you know, if you're visiting, you pay the travel cost, and then, you know, yada yada. But there was probably like a 10-year period where I bought my dad in particular like a really, really bad CD for Christmas every single year. Because I'd have to go like, hey mom, you know, what does dad want for Christmas? We definitely want both here. I go, hey mom, what does dad want for Christmas? By the way, if there's nothing else that shows you the difference in life now in the digital era versus like the life, you know, in the year 2003 or something. Hey, what does dad want 3 weeks from now? 3 weeks from now, he's really looking forward to, you know, listening to that John Mayer album that's been out since June. All right, fine. I'll give my dad that John Mayer album that has like Waiting on the World to Change on it. I'll give my dad the James Blunt album that has the song about You're Beautiful. Smiled at her on the subway. She was with another man. James Blunt seems to have a great sense of humor. I'm not trying to rag on James Blunt. Give me James Blunt over Daniel Powder any day of the week. Bought my parents some weird gifts over the years. Yeah, and like, when you're a kid, things are like irrational, right? Like, I remember I was probably like 10 or 11. We used to get a catalog in the mail. I'm not sure if they did it in the US. Most things that they do in Canada originated in America, so it's probable even. But Sears used to, back when they were profitable and had a captive audience, because it was like the only place in some towns where you could go to buy anything, from appliances to like collared shirts. Every year they used to send out to everybody a catalog called the Wishbook. What it was like, it's a great example of like marketing becoming culture, you know? The Wishbook was like ornately decorated, and it was a catalog showing all of the stuff that, you know, you could buy for Christmas. So, especially as a kid, you would open up the Wishbook, and like that was, I don't even know how to describe it. Like that was like Elon's Tesla Investors Day back in the day, right? Like you were so excited to see like, oh dude, for Christmas, siphon filter is gonna be $24 instead of $60. Add that to the list, right? Yo, the moon shoes, dude, the bouncing shoes. I gotta get some of those, or I gotta put them on the list at least. And I just remember like one year, and I guess like to be honest, it's kind of a sweet story, but I just remember like one year, I was like, I'm a grown-up now. I was not, by the way, but I'm a grown-up now. I'm gonna buy my parents a gift, and I bought them like a $40 set of tiny cheeses, tiny flavored cheeses. I remember when they opened it. I mean, they never even asked for it. I was just like, yeah, they like cheese or whatever. I think it was like a pretty sweet gift. It's a gift I would love to receive now, not to, you know, drop any hints. You know, Christmas is still far away, but the Wishbook doesn't exist anymore. But, and by the way, you're like, Sears used to sell food? Dude, I don't know what the heck's going on. The company was founded in like, you know, the year 65. Now Sears doesn't even sell the products that are in its own store. You try to, they got 17 cash registers in the store, and none of them are actually like staffed by anybody. I'm working on outdated information here. The last time I was in a Sears was obviously pre-pandemic in 1996, but you know, I think the bit is relatable. Dude, like the Wishbook, oh man, when you were a kid, you were so excited to open the Wishbook. There's like 3 things from the Wishbook I always wanted, and like I'd throw them on the Christmas list as like a maybe, like a blue sky thinking, if this shows up, I'm not gonna be mad. One of them was that like home laser tag kit, which my parents never got me, which was probably merciful for 2 reasons. One of which is I was an only child. So I was the kid that was like, I also need that one that's like a little plastic thing on the ground that shoots the laser beams at you. And I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, dude, how are you supposed to dodge a laser beam? It travels at the speed of light. You're just like, oh, you might as well just have a random number generator, right? You got me, laser, you got me, you didn't get me, you got me. Like, anyway, so my parents never got me that. The other reason I think it is because, like when you go to laser tag, even in, like, you know, the late 1990s, half an hour of laser tag was honestly like, it probably cost like 20 bucks, which is nuts when you look at inflation, right? We're paying like 500 bucks for a laser tag, you know, 15 minutes of laser tag where the guns don't even really work. But then that's the other thing is that, like, you know, the home laser tag kits, they were like 60 bucks, but apparently the machinery, you know, they weren't using Mastercraft, let's put it that way. There was no lifetime warranty on those. They were genuine, they weren't Sonys, they were Sonys, you know? And we're gonna win this one very, very easily, by the way. As you can tell. But you're like, quick, get there, finish the anecdote. I always wanted moon shoes, which were those, they look like rain galoshes. And I don't know if those, if you know what those are, but you know what I mean. Like when you wear dress shoes, you put like the weird little like shower caps on them so that you can go to work without getting your dress shoes wet. But they were like, instead of having a stinky old trampoline, right? Like, who needs that? It takes up a lot of space. You can get your foot stuck between the trampoline and the edge, and as a result, you could, you know, suffer a grievous injury. These were like little trampolines for your shoes. It's like it replaced your shoes with little trampolines. Genius idea. Never got them though. Parents probably wisely surmised that I would injure myself. And then the other one, and again, I'm not actually salty about any of these. My parents, you know, they were A, very good to me, and B, I very rarely wanted anything as a child. Like, even as a youngster, I was, again, kind of like a hermit in the sense, like, I lived like Henry David Thoreau, which is to say, you know, pretended I needed nothing, but really existed exclusively because of the support and material financial help from my family members, which allowed me that space to become intellectually distant. Yo, dude, he's going in on Thoreau. I'm just saying, this dude, like, he lived in the woods, and he was like, a man's got to be self-sufficient. It's so important for a man to be self-sufficient and get in touch with nature. And then, like, at the same time, he was writing his sister letters, like, sis, please come over and do my laundry. Like, so embarrassing, dude. You know he wrote all of Walden with, like, an unwashed butthole. That's all I'm... Okay, so, like, if you're watching this with young kids, I apologize. But there's a lesson to be learned here. One is... don't write checks your butt can't cash. The other one is take a shower every day. Or a bath. Either one I'll accept. I mean, I'm not the one who has to accept it, but you know what I mean. Either one seems acceptable to me. Does this make sense to you? And the other one was those, like... and they were always expensive. They were like the cost of a game console. But it was like a ping pong table, then if you flip over the ping pong table, it becomes shuffleboard, and then if you turn the shuffleboard inside out, then it becomes a crappy little pool table, and if you turn the pool table part upside down, then it becomes like a crappy little air hockey table. I never had one of them. I always wanted one. But then, like, my friend had one, and as soon as I used it, I was like, my parents made a great decision not purchasing this for me, because, like, it was a nice diversion, and yeah, I played some pool on it, but, like, it was not, it was not as good as if you were thinking, like, oh, this is gonna be even close to being on the same level as, like, playing real pool or ping pong or whatever, you're like, nah. Like, it's like a jack of all trades, master of, like, less than none. Come on, man. The run's over. The run's over. Let me out of here. I gotta... 9 minutes away from a stream. I gotta do some online trivia. Go play some Spelunky 2. It's gonna be a good time, but, like, you know... I'm not trying to force the game's hand here. I'm just saying. Like, it's just... It seems like it's been, like, a really long floor, I guess, is what I'm saying here. I can't believe we lost a run at the start of this. I mean, I can believe it because I remember it and we lived it, but, you know, normally when I, like, lose a run, I'm a little bit, more sour for the rest of the time. That's not the case today. I think it bodes well. Alright, let's finish this one off, and, you know, as long as we're having fun, that's the important part. We've long since, you know, the goal now, like, we still want to win every run. But the goal is no longer to have like a 500 streak by the time the DLC comes out. It's impossible. The goal now is to entertain. So I hope you were entertained. If you enjoyed it, please do click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!